Hi all, Hipper here. Today I am checking out my old favorite Martel, and as you can see I've gone back to my original setup here where I just choose speed over the increased concealment perk in the third row. And that is primarily because I have leveled Bumblebee so high that I really want as much speed as I can, as often as I can. So I don't want to wait for the penalty of a 50% increase in the waiting time between speed boosts if I choose the concealment perk. So that's why. So here we are on Crash Zone, and this is a perfect Martel map because you're able to reach the enemies pretty much, doesn't matter where they are on the map, and there's plenty of room to maneuver, and it's a good map for agile cruisers, definitely, as you'll see in this game. So from the beginning I do what I always do. I head straight into the cap. I know it's risky in a cruiser, but it pays off. I mean, if the cap can be taken, well, perfect. You can just start to cap. If not, well, then you'll have to improvise and see, do I have to hide behind an island, or can I turn around and like kite my way out again and then go back in, or whatever. Like it depends what happens in the cap, and of course, the more experienced player you are, the easier and the quicker you can make the decision. But there's only one destroyer in this game here, and if you're in a battleship, that means that you don't have to be timid. You can push in and you can cap. You can be very aggressive. Unfortunately, that's not really what happens here. But anyway, I'm in now. I'm starting to cap. And I got in a few cheeky shots at some unlucky battleships on the way, and just hoping to get that one, but no. So now I'm just trying to fall off detection so I can decide what I'm going to do here. And there are only battleships around here, which is not that much of a problem. And there's someone else in here capping, so it must be the cruiser on the other side of the island, and there's no way I can reach him. So unless someone else goes around on the flank, then there's no point trying to cap in here, because it's going to waste my time. And it doesn't look like anyone is flanking, so I'll do it. So now the cruiser has left the cap, apparently. So again, I improvised, changed my mind. I was like, okay, maybe I should stay. But then I noticed that the battleship is already headed in, so he might as well cap. So I'll leave the capping to him, and then I will start to flank these battleships over here that are hiding. Now, I also noticed that the reason I'm doing this is because I can see that everybody who spawned at B is pretty much fleeing over this way. So we are going to be in a crossfire very soon, and I'll have to prepare for it. I mean, all the red ships at A, they're not getting any resistance at all. So they're going to just take B, and then they're going to come over this way. So I need to somehow get those two battleships that are hiding here at C to retreat. Otherwise, we'll be left with pretty much only a quarter of the map, and we are going to get absolutely exterminated. Now, first, I want to help these guys here secure this flank here, because if we lose both flanks, and we have pretty much already lost the flank behind me, just after B. So I'm going to try to spot these two battleships here. So we might be able to push down this way, and that way get around C, and then be able to put up a gathered front to face the enemy. Unfortunately, there's no one backing me up, and although I have an agile build, it's just a little bit annoying here. The battleships are actually reversing and leaving the cruiser to tank. And that's fine, I have no problem tanking, but the whole point here is that we need to push. We cannot sit here behind the island forever, and especially not those two battleships. We are nearly 5 minutes into the battle, and they haven't fired a single shot yet. And that's just a waste. And it's a bad way to play battleships. So finally, they shoot something there. And I am battling to keep this turbot here spotted. So at least they know if he's going to come out for a torp run. And I'm running out of space now. And honestly, I cannot wait for these guys here. They're reversing again now. So there's only so much tanking I can do. And if they decide not to help, well, then I'm going to go somewhere else where my efforts are more appreciated. So if all those two guys want to do is sit there behind the island and be useless, that's fine. I will go somewhere else. And I can see that the enemy has now taken B, so they're going to be pushing over this way now, and that's exactly what I said before. That was what's going to happen. So my plan now is to distract the guys that are like flanking us from B, to give my guys at least a little bit of a chance here, because we are pretty much 2 battleships down with those 2 guys just sitting here behind an island on the flank with nothing to shoot at. And it's, yeah. So I was hoping to get in a few shots at this York here, but he's hiding behind another island. So there we see, we have the enemy push there. So I am going to try to annoy them enough so they start to chase me instead of going after the sea cap. That's the plan anyway. So now the 2 battleships I was visiting before decide to push, but they don't have any cruiser backup. So that's just terrible timing on their part. But I'm not going to go back now because we need to push these guys back. So just firing some preemptive torps there, just to make them think twice. And there are pretty much 3 ships here. They are pretty much rushing in to get to our sea cap. So now the tables have turned, and it's my battleships who are actually finally in the fray, and the enemies that are sitting behind an island over at sea. So that's alright. We'll keep setting these guys on fire here, taking turns, and then hoping that at some point they will have had enough and then start chasing me to the end of the world here. If they're smart enough not to follow me out here, then I have a lot of time to burn them down while they are approaching the sea cap here, or starting to reverse. It doesn't really matter. They are in totally open water, and I'm far enough away that they're not a threat. So they put themselves in a nice crossfire here, and like I said in the beginning, that's what I was preparing for after I gave up on my 2 battleships over there. They're actually doing a much better job now. If you see, they are attacking their turrets, but it would have made sense to do that while I was there to back them up. But anyway, we are on to bigger and more exciting things over here now. So the Iowa got the Scharnhorst, and now this Cleveland here is having second thoughts, which is awesome. So we'll try to take him out. So we'll just dodge and weave here around his shots. Like, Cleveland's really dangerous within 10 kilometers, so I need to get this guy finished off. He's showing broadside now, so we'll switch over to Martel's awesome AP here and see if we can't get in a few cheeky citadels. Unfortunately, nothing there. Give it another shot, so to speak. And there's one, and another 2. So we just gotta get rid of this guy here. And that's it. So this Colorado here seems to be pretty oblivious to what's going on. I fired torps at him probably 20 seconds ago, and he doesn't look like he's changing his direction at all. So I'll just start to set him on fire while I'm crossing my fingers that those torps will actually hit him. And they do. So that means of the 3 ships heading over towards sea, actually only the Jean Bar made it through. because they were pushing a little bit early. They should have waited longer until there was less of us to take them on. So there, he got very annoyed now, so he's going to take me on, and that's exactly what I want. I want to wear him down and then make him show broadside to my guys. So in theory, he should be a really easy kill now, but nobody seems to be shooting at him. And I also noticed the Azuma behind him is starting to turn this way, so I'll probably have to deal with both of them up here. And like I always say, like, show some broadside while you're at it in your cruiser when you're in a situation like this. It's really hard for battleships to resist, and that way you'll lure them off target very, very quickly. And a tier 6 battleship is not really a threat at this distance. So even at this distance here, which is about 10 kilometers, it's still pretty easy to outmaneuver him. I am aware though that I'm running out of space, and that is my ally here. If I get closer to this guy, he will be able to pretty easily citadel me. So I need to burn him down quickly, or torp him, or something. But burning is a better option, because I don't have time to get close enough to him to torp him. So I just gotta get some good hits and then get rid of him. So that was just in the nick of time, because now the Azuma has its eye on me. So we are both 1/3 health, and I'm on fire. So if you ever wanted to see which cruiser is the better, Azuma or Martel, you will get the answer right here. And it's of course Martel, because it has pretty much half the reload of Azuma. And at this distance, Azuma is at a great disadvantage. Especially because you can see I can close the distance very, very quickly with my speed boost. And I'm really planning to torp him. Just need to get a little bit closer. But I actually end up just out DPing him. So he misses most of his shots there, because I am wiggling back and forth, and there's not much he can do against that with such a slow reload. So there he goes. We actually took him out with guns, not even torps. So unfortunately we're on fire again, and that is a bit of a problem. That you'll see I lose a lot of health here, and there's nothing I can do about it. So now I'm starting to think, okay, I have to, there's still a battleship left, and it's a Chambard, so it's quite a threat, and I cannot take even one shell hit. So I'm starting to decide I will go to B and cap that, and then we'll win this match on points. We still have nearly 3 minutes left, and I still have my speed boost on for nearly 2.5 minutes, so I'm able to get to B if I keep going this way. So we're so lucky that Chambard shows up here. Take a few shots at him, and then all the way down on power and full rudder, so he misses his shots because we cannot take even one shot. And away with him. Now I'm still steaming towards B, because then I still think that's the wiser choice. But then, as you'll see in a second here, the remaining destroyer starts to cap C, and we cannot lose that cap, because then we'll lose on points. So I'm gonna have to head down here and support this destroyer here. He's not full health, so and he has to stay in the cap to prevent the other guy from capping. So I'll have to head down here. I have nearly no health, but I don't have a choice. We're more than 100 points behind, and if this guy keeps sitting in this cap, we're not going to get any points from this cap, and we will certainly lose, even if the battleship actually manages to get cap B, because he's only going to have enough time to just cap it, and not enough time to actually get enough points. So the way it's looking now, it has changed in the last minute, and we have to kill this destroyer. That's the only way to win the game. And I'm 4 kills, so if I'm lucky enough to get him, I'll get my nice little Kraken here. But of course, if you've seen the title on this this clip here, then you know I won't get it. And this shot is probably why I miss, and still a mystery to me why I miss. And the other Yudachi is just sailing broadside and taking a pounding. I don't know what he's doing. He should just leave that Yudachi to me and just stay concealed, but he didn't do that. So anyway, it's a bit of a bad situation here. I cannot take any damage. We're both down to one salvo left, and unfortunately he gets it off just before I reload, and the battle is lost. Now I was a little salty here at this moment, but I mean, that's how the game is. You just got to accept it and move on to the next battle. And we did well here, 190,000 damage, 4 kills, okay XP, and like top of the leaderboard. And still, we got outplayed by the Itachi in the end, so well played there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you out there.